Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
I do think that works. Welcome to your show, Dr. Kirk Adams. Sean will be here shortly, but shall we kick this off and introduce some of these fine folks?
Hey, Bella, absolutely. I would say that someone just started cutting down a cedar tree in the next yard, so there's quite a bit of noise going on, so I'll stay muted for a bit.
Fantastic.
But, glad to hear your voice again. It's been too long. You're about to meet some pretty awesome people.
Well, let's get to know those people. Coming first from San Francisco, California, visionary entrepreneur founded a social enterprise reshaping collaboration between nonprofits and business, built multiple companies in marketing and tech, committed to profit with purpose, and redefining business as a force for good, integrating social impact into corporate growth, empowering nonprofits, fostering a community of driven economy. Let's welcome to the show, Andy Choi.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Andy. And as I said, in the green room, you're going to have an opportunity to share a fun fact. And as I said, this is a headline fun fact, not a story. But Andy, what is your fun fact?
I moved to New York City about a year ago, so I split my time between here and California now.
Moved to New York City, quite the difference between New York and California. And what took you to New York City, Andy?
Honestly, just work and just a different season of life. I was coming here every 2 weeks before I moved here, so I spent a lot of time here, but I've always loved the city. But visiting and living here are two very different things. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Amen, Andy. Visiting and living there are two very different things.
Very, very different.
And are you enjoying living there versus visiting there now?
Yeah. It's the analogy that I use is that it's like a song that I knew. So the rhythm is very it's always been my kind of speed. So it feels it's home very much.
Awesome. Well, welcome home. Welcome to the Art of Influence. And Andy, are you ready to have some fun?
Yes, I am. I'm excited for this.
All right. Andy is ready. Next up from Colorado Springs, Colorado, from nearly homeless to virtual assistant to creative strategist, 13 years as an entrepreneur and podcast host, interviewing entrepreneurs, telling their story and the power behind them. 6.5 years helping organizations like one that is helping wellness and healthcare centers become more accessible for people with hearing and visual disabilities. An MBA with a focus in corporate responsibility. Let's welcome to the show, Jen Wabor Hart.
Hey, Bella. Thank you.
Hi, Jen. Hello, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Jen, what is your fun fact?
Yes, my fun fact would be we have 5 cats and 2 dogs.
5 cats and 2 dogs, and supposing that you're not on a farm.
No, I am not. I grew up on a farm, but I do not have a farm now.
You do not have a farm now, but you got 5 cats and 2 dogs. And do they all like get along?
Most of the time, relatively, we'll say.
Most of the time, relatively. Well, Jen coming with her 2 dogs and 5 cats. And Jen, are you ready to have some fun?
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Next up from Ontario, Canada, a lifelong advocate for disability inclusivity with over 22 years in creating spaces where all abilities are recognized, valued, and empowered. Founder of a virtual fitness platform with true inclusivity, adaptive workouts for the blind, that's super cool, sign language users, seated participants, and more. A pioneer in inclusive education, partnering with universities to promote disability awareness and the power of inclusive language. Let's welcome to the show, Leanne Ryber.
Glad to be here.
Leanne, super cool background. Definitely a pioneer in the industry and doing some super cool stuff. So thank you for being here. And what's your fun fact?
Fun fact is that I am very musical. So I sing, I play the piano, I play the saxophone. I'm self-taught on the drums and hopefully going to learn the guitar.
Holy moly. You don't play all these instruments at once, do you?
No.
That would be a whole talent in its own. And out of all the instruments that you play, Leanne, what is your favorite?
Oh, goodness. Probably the saxophone, just because it's so you can get so creative with it.
And what has inspired you to like learn all these different musical instruments?
Just a family of musicians, an extended family of musicians, but also being forced in 13 years of piano lessons from my mom, and just started to eventually love everything to do with music, song, dance, acting, all of it.
Leanne, This is Kirk. Did your mom set the kitchen timer, put it on top of the piano, tell you to practice until the timer went off?
My mom definitely had very rigid rules. I don't think it was, we did have a timer that was helping me with learning timing for music, but she wasn't,
That's a metronome. That's different.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway,
totally different.
I still bear a grudge against my mother for setting that kitchen timer after dinner.
I'm hearing the grudge in your voice, Dr. Kirk. That is super fun. Leanne, are you ready to have some fun?
Totally.
Let's do it. From Calgary, Canada, diving into door-to-door sales at 14, mastering real-time human connection, trust, and value-based persuasion, scaled a 150-plus person sales program and expanded partnerships from the hundreds to over 10,000 before taking AI and robotics as a chief growth officer. Co-founder and head of growth, building an intelligence assistant for millions losing their independence. Forbes 30 Under 30 in 2025. Let's welcome to the show, Luke Buckbarrow.
Hey, Bella, how's it going?
Hello, Luke. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And as you know, we're going to be keeping the theme. And so, Luke, what is your fun fact?
Yeah, I moved from Toronto to Calgary about 4 years ago to try to become a cowboy and ended up working at a fintech startup.
Those are definitely are 2 different genres for sure. Are you still working on becoming a cowboy at some point?
No time, but one day.
No time, but eventually I'm hearing a cowboy on the horizons. Like, are we going to see you like, barreling on horses and that kind of thing? Or you just want to listen to country music and line dance?
Land, horses, and good people. That's what I'm looking for.
Land, horses, and good people.
And Luke Kirk again. Have you been to the Calgary Stampede?
Oh, I think the Calgary Stampede's been to me at this point.
Yeah, I've had that transformational experience.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, Luke, are you ready to have some fun?
Hell yeah.
Well, hell yeah, he says. Luke is ready to have some fun. And next up from Peabody, Massachusetts, experienced in business development, relationship management, and persuasive storytelling to drive positive action. Skilled multitasker, adaptable ambiguity, and passionate about continuous learning and growth. Provides cost-effective, high-quality, accessible materials and website testing to enhance inclusivity for blind and visually impaired customers. Let's welcome to the show, Mark Hennigan. Hello, Mark. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Mark, what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I visited 50 of the, or not 50, 25 of the 50 United States.
Whoa. And so, Mark, what has caused you, like, what is the precipice or reason behind all the travel to all the different states? And you said it was how many?
50, half of them. I mean, half the 50, so 25 of the 50.
Okay, 25 of 50. Awesome. And what has inspired this? And do you have a goal of reaching all of the states?
Yes, my goal is to reach all 50, and I really just enjoy meeting new people and seeing new places.
Wow, that is awesome. And then, Mark, if you could go anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
Alaska, that's always been on my bucket list. I haven't managed to get out there yet.
Alaska, here Mark comes. Are you ready to have some fun?
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun if I ever get to go there.
Awesome. Well, we won't be going to Alaska today, but we will have a little fun on the Heart of Influence. So welcome, Mark. And next up from Richmond, Virginia, managing director of a foundation to change the unemployment rate for the blind community. 20 plus years in nonprofit, enjoying the startup space as well. Experience in board development and fundraising. Built out a national fellowship program for students to learn leadership, technical skills to gain access and be welcomed to various internships and employment opportunities where they enter the workforce. Let's welcome to the show, Paul Conley. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And what is your fun fact?
Never had a cup of coffee.
Whoa.
Upsets people typically.
You know, when Sean gets here, he can definitely relate to that fun fact. He's never had a cup of coffee get either, and I don't get it. But you know, I respect everybody's wishes. Do you have a drink that you do prefer?
For caffeine, tea is much better.
Tea is.
I just don't like coffee.
Just don't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. We will not be forcing you to have any coffee today.
As I like to say, more for me.
More for you. Yes.
I'll have yours, Paul.
I like all the varieties of coffee. I think people who don't like coffee are strange, but that's okay, Paul. We don't think you're strange. But with this more for us. And Paul, are you ready to have some fun?
Do it.
All right, let's do it. And then that other voice that we keep hearing that brought us all here together today from Seattle, Washington, 16 years as the president of the Lighthouse for the Blind, another 6 as the president of the American Foundation for the Blind, a PhD in leadership and change, the managing director of Innovative Impact LLC, engaging in fun, innovative, high-impact projects dedicated to making the world a more inclusive and equitable place. Let's welcome to his show, Dr. Kirk Adams.
Thank you, Bella, as always, for creating this space where I can invite a bunch of really cool people who I don't think have met each other yet, bring them together in a little hour of community.
Absolutely.
And my fun fact, I was at the CSUN Assistive Technology Conference 2 weeks ago, and at the Sony booth, they had an emotional support robot dog. And I have heard Sean complain so bitterly about veterinary bills that I think I found his solution. It's only $3,000. You only spend it once, and you have yourself a robot dog. So that's my fun fact.
That I am so glad that he's not here to hear that fun fact, as we've spent thousands of dollars on vet bills and thousands of dollars on training. So I'm glad that he was not here to hear that fun fact.
You don't need training. There's an app. So may I introduce you, Bella, since Sean is not here yet?
Yes.
I would like to introduce the co-host of The Heart of Influence. She puts the heart in the heart of influence. How many shows have you co-hosted, Bella?
Over 1,500 shows with more than 5,000 guests.
And there's a person who started selling door to door at age 14 on this call, but Bella at age 8 started her first business selling homemade arts and crafts in her front yard. She became the youngest person and the first female person to be the top business broker in the state of Nevada in her early 20s. And she did it not only once, but twice, but 3 times. She three-peated like Michael Jordan. She publicly battled and defeated cancer. She is a multiple published author, and she has recently become an ordained minister. And so I present to you Bella Verita. And Bella, what is your fun fact today?
Well, thank you so much for that introduction.
There we go.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Dr. Kirk Adams. And yes, I did just recently become an ordained pastor. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. And my fun fact is that I also started selling drugs in high school. And so my fun fact is I went from drug dealer to God dealer in my 47 years on this planet. So that is my fun fact for today, Dr. Kirk.
That's a pretty fun fact.
It is a fun fact. And because we have a bunch of people here that advocate for folks with disabilities, I will also share the fun fact that I did learn to surf, ski, and scuba dive from a blind man. You will meet that blind man very shortly. But Sean has actually taught me to ski, and we've skied all over the world. I lead him down double black diamonds on various locations, and he is an incredible skier. For a visually impaired man. So I will share that fun fact as well, Dr. Kirk. And shall we kick this off?
Yep. Lead us.
All right, let's do it. So team, we'll put the panel on. We can take Dr. Kirk off the pin. Thank you very much. And so there we go. So what this looks like, everyone, is, an old friend of Dr. Kirk Adams, Plato, said, play a game with me for an hour and we'll learn more about each other than if we spoke for a year. And so we're going to play a little game. It's on influence, because influence is the only attainable superpower. And as long as we can cause yes, we can cause anything in the world. So Andy, Jen, what this will look like is, Dr. Kirk, are you up for being role player?
Oh, sure.
Let's do it. So Dr. Kirk will actually be anyone you want him to be. He can be an ideal client. He can be an ideal avatar, someone personal, any meaningful yes that you are seeking in the world. And so Dr. Kirk, should we kick it off with Jen or Andy?
Oh, let's have Jen step into the unknown first.
We'll have Jen step into the unknown. See, Jen, if it were me, I would make Andy go first, because I always make the boys go first. But we see Dr. Kirk doesn't follow that same suit. So, Jen, who would you like Dr. Kirk to be?
I'm going to say a potential client, ideal client.
And what would be that avatar for that ideal client?
Typically a small business owner that's been established for about 5 years. That typically female business owner. And right now I'm working a lot with nonprofits. So let's actually say a nonprofit that is
like an executive director of a nonprofit.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So Dr. Kirk, we're going to put a red wig on you. You are now a female director and ideal client. Are you ready?
Hello, this is Miss Adams.
Hi, Miss Adams. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Busy, but good.
What's going on that's making you so busy right now?
Well, you may have heard that there may be some disruptions to federal grants, and as a 5-year-old nonprofit, we're somewhat dependent, and so we're trying to figure out plans A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, I can definitely understand how scary that is. What kind of systems does your organization have in place right now to keep all of the grant funding organized for your organization?
You go right to the sore spot. Not good.
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheets, some free CRM, and Word documents.
Do you have a set person that's taking care of grants, or are you finding that you're having to scramble to take care of a lot of that work these days?
It's shared. We're not large enough to have a dedicated person, so it's a bit of a team effort.
Yeah, I totally understand that pain point. It's something I hear a lot these days. Do you guys have access to any sort of project management software right now, or maybe one that's not being utilized, or nothing at all?
Someone recommended Monday, and we've taken a look at it, but we haven't implemented any.
I'll be honest, Monday gave me more of a headache than a regular Monday in the week. So I would suggest Asana. I think Asana is great for this kind of work where you can really dedicate a different board for the different types of grants you guys are looking for, especially where you're in a collaborative environment and everybody can know what everybody else is doing.
Well, Jen, I've never heard of it. I know I took this call because you were recommended by Fiona, and she's worked with you, but I only had a couple minutes. So
Totally.
What do you think happens next here?
Yeah, Fiona and I actually implemented Asana for her organization, and they were facing something similar. But I would suggest that we schedule another call where I can really dive into what I think Asana could do for your organization, specifically when it comes to grant funding, so we can alleviate some of that stress for you guys.
I will hopefully not be the main person implementing Asana, so I would like to have some other people from the organization there. And they're going to ask me to give them something so they can have an idea of what Asada is. So if you could send something that you think is useful to share, and email my assistant, and let's set up that meeting with the team.
I would be happy to get that over to you by the end of this week.
Perfect. Thanks.
Nice work right there, Bill Rita. Hello, everyone. Hi, Dr. Kirk. Adam.
Sean.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Did I tell you about the emotional support robot dog that Sony has presented at the Assistive Technology Conference I went to last week?
Oh, I would have like 4 of those.
It's a mere $3,000, no vet bills and no training bills because it's controlled by an app. So I think you should buy 5 or 6.
Kirk, I think I spent more on that with Bella on our dog Emily today. Bella,
That's probably true.
I
I said that.
I think I've spent more educating Emily in her first year of life than all 3 of my children in their college and postgraduate educations.
Yes. Well, I thought of when Roz and I were playing with the emotional support robot dog, I was thinking about you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And we love Emily. And yes, I love it all, Bella, of course. So super happy. And yes, we can absolutely step into the world of robot dogs for $3,000. That would be a drop in the bucket. Love it. So hello to everybody. Forgive me for my delay. Had some technical issues.
And Sean, just so you know, your screen is completely white. I don't know if there's something like in front or okay.
Then there's nothing that would be the unblinded team to please effectuate that outcome. If you could text Mercedes, Michael, and Danny. We had some other beautiful tech issues. But while we're doing that, so Kirk, if it's okay with you and everyone, let me introduce the woman.
Could Dr. Kirk introduce me, Sean?
Oh, okay. So then
he did a fantastic job. Yes.
Tell it back to you.
Okay. So next up, we've got Andy. And so, Andy, who would you like either myself or Dr. Kirk to be? Now that my co-host is here.
Hey, you're the co-host, Bella. You get to role play now.
All right, I'll do the role play now. So, Andy, who would you like for me to be?
Am I selling something? What?
Andy, what you're doing, what this whole show is about the causing of yes being the only attainable superpower for humanity.
Got it. I would say be an entrepreneur that's in their early to mid 30s. Has worked in tech corporate, but is not feeling fulfilled and is looking for something that's more purpose driven. Probably somewhere in a major metropolis city. Has been exploring different ways to find purpose driven work. And yeah, is looking for just kind of advice and guidance on like what that looks like.
Okay, awesome.
And this is Kirk. So we're not, what do you say, Sean? Not pitching, hooking, closing, yuck. This is not trying to close a sale in 3 minutes. It's to get to the next step. So whether it be another meeting or introducing you to somebody or a reasonable yes that you might expect to be able to accomplish in 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kirk.
You're welcome.
And all right, so let's take it in. Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Hello. What do you do right now as far as a career or kind of what do you spend most of your time and energy on?
I spend definitely the most time, my time and energy at work. I've been with a tech startup for the last 5 years, and I'm in sales and business development. And the company's has seen its ups, it's seen its downs. I think we're going back up at the current moment, but it has definitely been a roller coaster.
Has it been like fulfilling work for you? Is it something you get excited about every morning?
I do it because it pays the bills.
So then what are you doing outside of that? Are you finding other ways to find joy and fulfillment in your work or your time?
I mean, outside of work, I'm definitely not looking to find more fulfillment in my work. I try to get involved in the community. I have some hobbies that I'm into.
So then outside of work, are you like waiting for like the weekend? Is that something that you pursue? It's like, it's just kind of clock in 9 to 5 and then everything else is just, like that's where life begins.
Yes, I cannot wait for the weekend for sure.
Then how are you pursuing outside of that, like, just balance, right? Like, is it just the weekend or is it something in your work that you find joy and fulfillment in doing?
I would say outside of work, I really enjoy spending time with my dog. I don't have a robot dog, so I spend a lot of time and money and energy into doing things with my real life dog,
Yeah.
and that's what I enjoy doing most.
That's awesome. I can see you already getting excited when you just even say your dog, right? I think
Yes.
that's awesome. Is that like, is that a cause you're passionate about, like just animals and just, everything else?
I mean, I'm passionate about my animal. I haven't done like much in the like charity space or do like much for like other animals. I don't even really typically like other people's animals. I just like my own.
Nothing wrong with that. A
Yes.
lot of people like their own child, maybe
Yeah.
not other kids either.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So I only have like 30 seconds. Tell me like about you, what led you to this call and what is it that you do?
I think when it comes to work, what I value the most is actually not my time, is not money, it's actually my time, right? And what I spend majority of my time doing is work. And I think oftentimes there's a way that my time should be reflective of my values. And I think when it comes to work, I love to hustle, I love to grind. And I think when it comes to others, it's like, is there a way to pursue your 9 to 5, your job in a way that's meaningful, that you're not just kind of waiting for the weekend, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know we're at time, but that's what I want to get to.
Well, I think your story is super interesting. The fact that you are bi-coastal between California and New York. You've obviously created a life that you love. So I am, I would like to have a little bit longer of a conversation, kind of see what it is that you do and see where we go from there.
Sounds awesome. Thanks, Bella. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right,
Welcome
Andy.
back, Sean. We can see you.
Yay! Technology, hot dog, problem solved. Bella, feedbackers, let's go.
Feedbackers, let's go. Otherwise known as judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Andy or Jen something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a little next step. Is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Andy or Jen? I don't think anybody's going to want a root canal today. Maybe that longer conversation is just like a little Starbucks, little mocha chocolate and croissante for a little bit longer of a meeting. But if that's not enough time, then you would be willing to rent a private room at like maybe the Capitol Grill, getting the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're vegan, of course, maybe you're having salad and french fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you want to have the longest meeting possible. But if that is still not enough time, then you would rent a private jet, of course, to stop and pick up Dr. Kirk, then Andy or Jen, and fly anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting possible. So, Leanne, let's kick it off with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jen?
I thought you did a really great job, Jen. I would have enjoyed spending time with you, especially just you took Kirk right to the pain point, and did it in such a really gentle way that just allowed him to say, like, yeah, that's something that I have an issue with. You asked really great questions to get to understand a little bit more about how you could help, and you presented a solution in that first meeting, which was amazing. Yeah, I don't really have any other feedback other than good job. You got to the yes.
Cool. And Jen, would you have like a follow-up meeting that will be lengthy, mid, short? Like, how compelling was it for you? Cup of coffee, dinner, something more? What would the follow-up be?
Is that a question for me or for Jen?
Oh, I'm sorry, about Jen. The follow-up meeting would be.
The follow-up meeting, probably just another, longer period of time to get to understand the solution that she was providing. So I don't think personally I would be going for dinner or anything like that, but we would probably take, maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes to go through the product and hear your suggestions on how it could really support my needs.
Cool. Thank you for that. Bella.
Let's go, Luke. Luke, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Andy?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I feel like you had a great pickup at the end there, maybe coming in a bit more in the beginning with, I don't want to say energy, but a little more captivation. I think it was like one of this nice rides where you kind of rode the wave and it ended off really well. I'm a bit of an extrovert, so I always say 50% of people love me, 50% of people hate me because I like to come in a little hotter in most general scenarios. That's just my view of things. But other than that, I think it was great.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Andy. So, little cup of coffee, dinner, something more. What would the follow-up be?
And what would be your follow-up with Andy, Luke?
Oh, for me, I think what he's pitching, I think it's something where in person would be best in my mind. I think that feeling of how he feels, how he's brought down himself to this level where he feels motivated and excited always, I'd say in person would be the best kind of fact in my mind.
Cool. Thank you for that, Luke. Bella.
Let's go, Paul. Paul, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jen?
A lot of what Leanne said, I thought it was really, really good. I think it was the third question. You got to the basically your solution by asking him his problem, and it was clear that I'm guessing this is the case for a lot. They have that same lack of system. So when things are challenging, things are probably slipping through the cracks because of lack of system. So I thought it was really good of getting him to that realization himself that he needs you fairly quick. So I thought it was really well done.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Paul. Bella.
Let's go, Mark. Mark, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jen? Mark, if you just, there you go.
Yes, that typically helps. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I thought that Jen brought in a lot of humor and wit into the conversation, which I think really made it flow and have a natural cadence. And really, I think that disarms the listener and helps get to the meat of the issue in a really natural way. It was a really well done. It was really well done.
Awesome. And I did not realize, Bella, and Kirk, they were having the Scribners of the New Testament. We had like Luke, Mark, Paul. This is amazing. Like writing all kinds of things for us today, Bella.
That is super fun. And then Dr. Kirk Adams, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jen? Oh, you just muted yourself, Dr.
Jen
K.
or Andy?
Mark, you just did Andy, right?
You just did Jen.
Oh, we
I
did.
just did
Okay.
Jen.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
two
bad.
Jens.
Yes. Then your 30 seconds of feedback for Andy. My
Uh,
apologies.
Andy, I would say one thing we learn at Unblinded is the importance of the emotional rapport. So I probably would ask you to start out with a little bit about who you are and why you called and how you doing, Bella. But you asked great open-ended questions, which were very germane. How do you achieve fulfillment and work-life balance? And you asked those as open-ended questions, which was great. And then when she mentioned her dog, you just caught right on to the fact that opened up her listening, and she lit up and was energized, and you kind of gave a little chuckle and said, "I can tell you really care about that." So that was great to seize upon that opening of her listening around the mention of her beloved Emily. So I would go Cap Grill.
Nice.
Andy, there's one by Radio City Music Hall in New York City that I'm partial to. So we could meet there and share that seafood tower.
Uh-oh, I'm hearing Kirk dissing the Paramus, New Jersey capital.
I have been to both, and if you twist my arm and make me pick one, I gotta go with the one by Radio City.
All right, there we go. Dr. Kirk Adams. Dr. Kirk, you know what time it is. Bella Verita, I'm sure you have something cooked up. Over to you.
I do. And Dr. Kirk, as you know, and everyone, this is the time of the show that I get to put my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about because I've been cooking them up as the show's been going on. You may have noticed. And so ultimately, Dr. Kirk, I have 3 scenarios for you to choose from. You can choose any one of my scenarios for Sean to go from hello to yes. He knows nothing about any of them. You can change anything about them, or you can scrap them all together and come up with something much, much harder on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Yes, please.
All right. Option number 1 is I thought Sean could role play Jen going from hello to yes with Angelina Jolie to help support the Jolie Maddox Foundation in helping them get organized and implement some of her strategies into that foundation. So that is option number 1. Option number 2, Dr. Kirk, is Sean could role play Andy going from hello to yes with Elon Musk because he has publicly admitted to working over 100 hours a week, sleeping on factory floors, struggling with mental health. So maybe Andy could help him with his tech burnout. So that is option number 2. And then option number 3, Dr. Kirk, is I thought Paul could role play a monk and Sean could go from hello to yes to get Paul to have a cup of coffee. So those are my 3 options I have for you today, Dr. Kirk. Any of those tickle your fancy?
I kind of like the Angelina Jolie getting the foundation organized.
Okay. And so who would you like to play the role of Angelina Jolie?
I think Leanne reminds me quite a bit of Angelina Jolie in our brief acquaintance. So
Leanne, are you ready to step into the role of Angelina Jolie?
No, but I will do my best.
Okay. Awesome. And then Jen, if you could, since Sean was having some tech issues, just give him like a brief headline and what it is that you do and the yes that you would be seeking from Angelina.
Yeah, I help entrepreneurs and nonprofits make their businesses more organized and make their big dreams a reality through task work.
Awesome. And so, Belle, the yes I'm generating is Bella from
To
Angelina
set a
Jolie?
meeting with Angelina Jolie to come in and do a consultation for their nonprofit.
Got it. Okay. Hi, is Miss Jolie available?
Yes, Miss Jolie here.
Hey, Miss Jolie, this is Jen. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
For sure.
Wow. So thank you so much. I know that you know who you are. I just want you to know that I know who you are, how precious your time is. And if I could, in the 2 minutes and 45 seconds we have left, and I will honor the time, if you could just share with me, Miss Jolie, because I want to speak into your listening, what prompted you to accept this conversation in the first place? I'm very grateful, but what was the why behind it, please?
Definitely just feeling a lot of disorganization in the foundation. I'm looking for people that can come in and help us streamline our processes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. And Miss Jolie, what's on your heart? I've read your book. Heard you speak numerous times. I'm tremendously present to the mastery that you bring to the big screen and the impact player you are. But what's the ultimate why? You've accomplished so much. You've done so much already. Why the foundation? I've read the website. I've heard you speak about it. But if I could hear it just for a moment from your heart, like what's it really all about? And if you win it all, like what ultimately happens?
Mm. I believe that we can use this foundation to heal the world. And I believe that we can heal the world by bringing people with and without disabilities together.
Amazing. Thank you for that. So, from that place of world healing, unity, impact, untapped resources, may I share a couple things that may or may not resonate with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Miss Jolie, I've been doing this for a long time, and my work is about creating the elimination of leakage. And what that's really all about is there's value that is untapped, sitting everywhere. And my work is to find those pieces, places, things, and people, bring them together to fulfill your mission at a higher level. And something that's happened somewhat recently, through a colleague of mine, Kirk Adams. He's introduced me to this person who has his own visual impairments and disabilities, by the name of Sean Callaghy. And there's been some remarkable outcomes they've created in charitable fundraising. They call their model sustainable giving. So and I'm talking preposterously disproportionate capturing of value, fundraising with integrity, and not only money, certainly money, but bringing people together. Because one of the great challenges, Miss Jolie, is people do fall in love with a charitable cause, and essentially they go around the world saying, "Hey, this is a great cause, and it will be beautiful if you invested something in it." Well, that's true. All these different charitable charities essentially have the same story. Great issue, great problem, and we'll do something efficient to solve it. Would you give? And what I would love to bring to you and the efficiencies that we're talking about from the heart, but also the math of it, is how do we create a different story to provide value so people want to stay involved with your cause, not simply because they're, very grateful for you and love the cause, but there's something deeper in it for them. So if there's any resonance, Miss Jolie, what I simply proposing is a 30-minute follow-up conversation with Kirk Adams, with myself, with this gentleman, Sean Callaghy, because I think we can do some remarkable things. And footnote, I know your time is precious, and we would guarantee you a $50,000 donation for 30 minutes of your time to your charitable cause if you find that we are not fulfilling on what I'm promising you. So, Ms. Jolie, I know we're at time. How would it resonate with you or not to have that follow-up 30-minute conversation?
Sure. I'd be interested in hearing more.
Amazing. So thank you. And I set that up with your assistant, Tom, that set up this meeting.
Yes, that'd be great.
Well, I'd be very grateful for that. And have a blessed day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Okay, out of roll. I'll come back to Leanne in a second. Jen, thank you so much for being in the participant seat today. Never an easy place to be. How did I do as you? And how was your time on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence, Jen?
This was amazing. Especially, did not know I was going to be in the participant seat, but this was a great experience. I like how much you brought storytelling into the experience because that's something that I do a lot with my clients as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that and for being here today. And Leanne, thanks for jumping in as Angelina Jolie. Thanks for being in the feedbacker seat. Excellent work. And how was your time, Leanne, on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence?
It was great. Really happy to be connected with so many people doing incredible work. This was a really interesting, I've never been part of anything like this. It was very interesting to experience. And yeah, I appreciate the invite.
Well, thank you for that, Leanne. And it's probably because there's nothing like this. This was created after COVID occurred. and we can no longer meet live and in person, and it mirrors how we would create shared experiences over 4 hours with people in the Capitol Grill, compressed without steak or seafood tower into a 1 hour conversation, because of course all business is built on relationships and all relationships are built on shared experiences. So how do we create the most efficient shared experience? To begin relationships. That's the foundation of it all. And Leanne, thank you for being a part of the more than 8,000 people that have been on the show. So thank you for that, Leanne.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go with our biblical trio. Let's go, Mark. Please, thank you for being in the feedbacker seat. Wonderful work. And please, how was your time, Mark, on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence?
It's been a very great experience. Hearing how you run your meeting has been very enlightening and educational. I think I'm going to really try to bring more of those conversational and the flow that you use into my meetings going forward.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Mark. And yeah, right. How do we cause what Oprah Winfrey said? I see you, I hear you, what you say matters to me. And to do that, of course, it has to be authentic. And that's the flow with a little bit of fun, energetic variance, because people don't want to fall asleep and they've heard everything and seen everything until they see something they haven't. So thank you for being a part of something people haven't seen. And I appreciate that very much. And you did a wonderful job. Bella Verita, please.
Yes, Emily has made an appearance on the Heart of Influence.
Because she is very upset at this conversation of artificial dogs. So
Yeah, she's
yes,
not
she is very
happy.
concerned. Very, Emily, we love you. You have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear at all. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And so how about we continue down the apostles and we'll go Luke. Luke, how about how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Yeah, I love it for two reasons. One, more on the experience walking away. It really just proves again that sales is nothing crazy. It's nothing insane. It's again being a person first, aligning your values with their values, understanding a problem, and really just liking each other. For me, it's trust, transparency, and honesty. And it was amazing to feel that essence in all these conversations today. I think more than anything, though, just knowing how many incredible people have committed themselves to making the world a better place while using their own physical talent, as well as the products in which they're trying to sell. I think we can often find ourselves in these quiet corners while AI and everything else is taking over the world. But I really think that the world's going to be building based on need, not novelty in the few years. And I think the people in this room are going to be the ones that capitalize on that. So kudos to everyone.
Wow, Luke, beautiful, brother. I love the energy, the certainty, the congruence. Everybody here today, and every show is recorded, and I never say the same thing twice. I always say what I mean, and this has been a really unique level of congruence and mastery and communication from everybody. And Luke, particularly, you embody that. So thanks for being here today.
Yeah,
Bella.
thank you. Thank you, Luke. Let's go, Paul. Paul, like you, Sean, has never had a cup of coffee.
Yes, Paul.
Dr. Kirk and I cannot fathom this, but Paul, hopefully this was as energizing as a cup of coffee. And how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
No, it was really good. It was really interesting to be around people that you've never met, and learn a little bit about what they're doing and seeing how people respond, and kind of challenging and maybe a little awkward spots as they have to present in front of people they literally don't know, to a client that potentially doesn't even know what they need. So I thought it was pretty good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Paul. Bella Verita, here's to no caffeine except sweet tea. Let's go.
And then last but not least, our other participant in the participant seat, Andy, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
It was great. I haven't done anything like this in a while, so I think it's always kind of refreshing to kind of join a group or a session like this. I think one, I'm most interested in everyone else and what you're building here on this call. Would love to connect, stay in touch, learn more about your business. And I think when it comes to the context, I think what the biggest thing that we lack as a society is actually being servants. And I believe in what I call it's called servant-based leadership, right? Like I think bringing that approach to sales, to really understanding why And that seems to be kind of the message that you have, Sean, and like just the team here. So I think any environment that can preach that and share that message, I think is great. So you have my support there. And again, I thought it was a fun exercise. That customer persona that I did, that is not our customer. It's just I wanted to go through an exercise of exploring that. So it was fun. And yeah, again, I'm excited to meet everyone and hopefully connect with other people from this call a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you, man. And part of the unquestionably part of our core message is what you shared. What it also is hyper intentionality. So like, what if we gave without any expectation of return, which is what you've identified, except and until we make express agreements? And what if the express agreements that we seek to make are those that make 1 + 1 equal as much as possible with integrity? So that would be the second part of our messaging, is a lot of beautiful souls in the world are inefficiently out of power and disempowered because they don't act intentionally. That's the second part of our message. So it is integrity, but it's integrity with absolute transparency and the intention. And my intention is to mine personally, Sean Callaghy, is to integriously collect relationships with people that can masterfully and integriously cause yes, because that changes everything. So I collect yes causers and I am transparent. I add value to it. And that's why I've been blessed and privileged to scale and build things, because if you can create value mutually, transparently, and integriously with yes causers, then you win everything for the world, right? Not for yourself. So that would be the second part: heart, integrity, authenticity, transparency, and intentionality with people who do the same. Like, that's our work in the world. And this is how we meet people. So thank you very much. And again, very impressed by you and everybody here today with the level of emotional intelligence, congruence, and communication, all of it. So thank you, Andy. Wonderful job.
That was great, John. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Bella, read it.
That takes us to Dr. Kirk Adams, and I am starting to see the benefit of a robot dog, because at least they don't need to go out potty, and you don't have to walk them whenever they demand it, which is what Emily is doing at the current moment. But I don't think this robot dog is nearly as cute as our red Doberman, Sean Callaghy, so I don't think we're going to be trading her for a robot dog anytime soon. But that does take us to Dr. Kirk Adams.
And just gratitude, as this is my favorite hour of my month. And thank you for building and maintaining this space, the Heart of Influence, and allowing me to have an hour a month to invite some really cool people that I think should know one another in a fun and educational format. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Bella, for creating this. Appreciate it.
It does not come more integrous. It does not come more selfless than Dr. Kirk Adams. And if anything, had one wish for Dr. Kirk, it would be a hair more self-focus as opposed to selfless focus. Because this dude, I mean, you can't find somebody who gives more of himself. I truly believe that. So thank you, Dr. Kirk Adams. It is always an honor and privilege to share space with your humility, your integrity, your mastery. Of course, emanating from your heart. Thank you, Dr. Kirk. For everybody, we have plenty more to do. If there's some resonance here, it doesn't exist anywhere else. We believe in humility without false modesty. It doesn't help anybody if Tom Brady walks in the field and claims not to be Tom Brady, right? So it's only when we think we're better or less than somebody else, as opposed to more skilled at certain specific things. Like, you don't want to be playing table tennis with me, nor tennis, nor probably any racket sport, nor baseball or football at this stage of my visual condition. However, there might be some things that a lot of mastery sits in the space. If that's interesting, we have our textbook on group influence available for you. It will rock your world and blow your mind. And we also have an acceleration session available for everybody here today. It will not be your uncle's crackerjack complimentary life coaching session. This will be a rip it open, tear it open, have some fun, and rethink everything about your mission and acceleration with the deepest level of empathy, respect, precision, directness. If that resonates, it's here for you. And Bill of Rita, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Sean Callaghy, and everyone. And I always like to share at the end of the show. I actually sat in the seat of Jen and Andy about 4.5 years ago, and I came onto the show because I did a little research, and I was like, I'm going to show that guy Sean everything I know about sales, and I'm going to outsell him. As you saw in the magic moment, I probably did not win that little debate and quickly succumbed to the fact that there's a difference between sales and influence, especially influencing people of influence. And there's no one better than Sean and the Unblinded Formula. So definitely check out those books because you get it for free. So why not? And then have that business acceleration session, because even if it could help one thing in your business, why not? So thank you all for being here. And Sean, back to you.
Yeah, and my final is like, what if in 2025 you didn't look to grow 10%, 20%, even 50%, but what if you look to grow hundreds of percent? I believe that behavioral change is difficult because of the change our thoughts, to change our feelings, to change our actions. And the only way I believe people authentically do that is when they create completely preposterously unreasonable outcomes for themselves and have a real how to fulfill it. So may you all have that in 2025 or whatever your heart desires. We end every show by saying this: I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain as to the possibilities for acceleration that sit right in front of all of us, like right here, right in front. The impact, the abundance, the duplication, all of it sits right here. But at some level, Belverita, unfortunately, at some level, we are all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Dr. Kirk, thank you, brother.
Bye. Yeah.
Everybody.